What I'm about to tell you will change how you see every betrayal you've ever experienced. Carl Jung discovered something terrifying about the human nature, and by the end of this, you'll understand why some people are wired to destroy you. If someone damaged you on purpose, listen carefully. This wasn't confusion. This wasn't weakness. According to Carl Jung, this was their shadow, the dark aspect of personality, making a calculated decision. And Jung said that when the shadow acts with intention, it reveals something chilling. They don't just dislike you, they've psychologically erased your humanity. But here's what Jung discovered that most people never realize, and this will shock you. Carl Jung identified contempt as one of the most dangerous psychological states, because it doesn't just create distance between people. It creates a moral justification for cruelty. When someone reaches contempt, Jung observed, they've completed what he called the devaluation process. You're no longer human in their internal framework. You've become an object deserving of punishment. Jung said the human psyche cannot commit intentional harm without first creating elaborate justifications. The shadow doesn't just act, it builds entire narratives like they deserved it, they're weak, they brought this on themselves. But here's the terrifying part Jung uncovered. These internal words aren't random thoughts. They're psychological weapons crafted long before any actual strike occurs. And what Carl Jung discovered about this process will make you question everyone around you. Jung believed that contempt is the shadow's most sophisticated tool because it doesn't always look like hatred. Jung observed that the shadow can wear masks, passive aggression, false concern, strategic silence. The person destroying you might still smile to your face, but Jung warned that actions reveal the shadow's true intentions when words lie. Carl Jung discovered that manipulation represents one of the shadow's most calculated betrayals because it requires what he called instrumental thinking, treating others as objects to be used rather than humans to be respected. But here's what Jung found most disturbing about manipulative people. They don't just lie to you, they study you. Jung said manipulators engage in what he termed shadow projection. They watch your vulnerabilities not to understand you, but to weaponize your own psychology against you. Jung observed that manipulation follows a predictable pattern. It starts with small reality distortions, testing your boundaries. If you don't resist, Jung noted, the manipulator goes deeper, systematically eroding your sense of self until you're questioning your own sanity. And according to Jung, this isn't accidental. It's the shadow exercising its most sophisticated form of control. But here's where Jung's research gets truly chilling, and this might be the most important thing you'll hear today. Carl Jung discovered that when someone truly harbors ill intent, they instinctively target what he called your core complexes, the psychological structures that give your life meaning. They don't attack randomly. Jung said they go straight for what you love most, because the shadow understands that emotional precision creates maximum devastation. Jung observed something terrifying. This kind of targeting usually comes from people who know you intimately. And here's why that makes it infinitely more dangerous. According to Jung, strangers can wound you, but only those with intimate knowledge about you can systematically unravel you. They've observed your values, your fears, your dreams. Jung called this privileged destruction, the shadow using intimate knowledge as ammunition. If you value loyalty, they betray you. If you cherish honesty, they lie convincingly. If you prize your reputation, they destroy it systematically. Carl Jung discovered that after causing harm, truly malicious people engage in what he termed reality manipulation, systematically distorting your perception of what happened. But Jung found something even more sinister about this process. The perpetrator achieves what Jung called a double victory. First they cause the damage, then they make you feel guilty for noticing it. Jung observed that gaslighting isn't just manipulation, it's psychological warfare designed to make you question your own sanity. According to Jung, guilt becomes the invisible leash. You start walking back your anger, hesitating to speak up, wondering if maybe you were too sensitive. Jung warned that this confusion is intentional. It protects their ego while keeping you emotionally destabilized. But here's what Carl Jung discovered that will blow your mind about why toxic people keep circling back. Jung observed that haters don't just want to hurt you once, they want to keep you broken. According to Jung, your healing becomes their greatest threat because recovery proves their attack failed. Jung said that when you begin to heal, you disrupt the narrative they've constructed about your weakness. Jung also discovered that hatred thrives on control, and your healing represents the ultimate rebellion against that control. But here's the twist Jung uncovered that changes everything. Carl Jung observed that people operating from shadow hatred will often reappear when you start healing, disguised as concern or reconciliation. But Jung warned these aren't genuine attempts at repair, they're strategic efforts to reopen wounds and reassert psychological dominance. So what does Carl Jung say about how to respond? Here's where his wisdom becomes life-changing. Jung discovered that the most powerful response isn't revenge. It's what he called conscious response. According to Jung, when you respond with clarity and truth, rather than reactive emotion, you break the cycle of shadow projection. You refuse to become what hurt you. Carl Jung said that truth doesn't need dramatics to create impact. A grounded, honest response hits harder than explosive anger because truth is harder to argue with. It lingers, it reveals, and it allows you to walk away with your integrity intact. Jung observed that when someone intentionally harms you through contempt, manipulation, and gaslighting, they're making a declaration of war against your spirit. But according to Carl Jung, your conscious response, rooted in truth rather than revenge, is your ultimate power. Jung's profound insight reveals that no amount of hatred can strip away your inherent dignity, and no betrayal can dictate your worth. Though the pain inflicted may have been deliberate, Jung's wisdom empowers us to take control of our recovery, to rise above the hurt with intention and purpose. When we choose to emerge stronger without resorting to retaliation, to communicate with clarity and compassion rather than venom, and to heal without letting the wounds define us or transform us into the very thing that hurt us, we triumph in a silent, unanticipated victory, one that leaves our adversaries unaware of the battle they've lost. Thank you so much for staying with me through this exploration. If you found value in today's discussion, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and share this video with someone who might benefit from it.